Hispaniola is an island that is separated into two parts, Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And while this is one island, it is separated into two countries that have two independent rulers and has independent laws, governance, and legislations in each nation. But the country that is most popular between them both is Haiti. Haiti has been classified as a cursed country in a lot of persons' opinions because of a lot of reasons. But the most popular or evident reason because of this is that in 2010, Haiti got struck with an earthquake that is record-breaking. It was a 7.0 on the Richter scale, and it was estimated that all the damages combined cost between $7.8 billion and $8.5 billion.
Pendant mandat la caille là, on y a moitié de bail qui coupe li pété. L'elle pété me de bail cap tout la crier m'a pas là moi si sauvem si petite modèle. On y a mis deux petites là mené bon moi, yo mené yo tête yo cassé, un puis pied yo blessé. Ça me joue sans dents, pas fond. Carbone moi tout en bas ça. Carbone moi en bas, dans fond. C'est dans des bouées yo râler en pérate, nous joindre deux trois graines bagaille nous mettre même pas sauver rien. Nous laguer deux bois balancés c'est souterrain. Nous sortis là, tout le monde. Là nous tout petit yo. Ça mourir après l'embouer, c'est timaré nous pas qu'à faire rien.
September we met, I can tell by your smile.
Welcome back to the channel, Concept of the Mind. And on today's video, I'll be discussing some of the unfortunate events that has been happening to Haiti and the assassination that has happened on the Haitian president. So for more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notification bell, and like the video so the YouTube algorithm can understand that these videos make sense to you. So for a very long time now, Haitian citizens has been classified as some of the most unfortunate people in the world. Haiti has been plagued with some prominent issues in the country, from high levels of political corruption, high levels of crime, high levels of poverty, and even higher levels of cholera, with over 777,000 cases being reported to date. And if that wasn't enough for the country, in 2010, Haiti suffered one of the most powerful and horrific earthquakes in the history of time. But that was over a decade now. So the country has been trying to bounce back from all of those fluctuations in their economy and all of the unfortunate events. And just as when the country would see some brighter day after the coronavirus has been easing in some of the cases and some of the death tolls, devastation struck again. The Haitian president has been assassinated. Jovenel Moïse was a politician and an entrepreneur who served as the Haitian president from 2017 to 2021, where he was brutally assassinated in his own home. But this is not where the first assassination attempt has been recorded in history. Assassination on public figures and politicians and presidents for countries has been dated back to the days of the Romans. The most popular politicians who have been assassinated and the most popular presidents who has been assassinated are some of the likes of Abraham Lincoln, J.F. Kennedy, and the most recent Jovenel Moise. It's stated that Jovenel Moise was actually the third president of Haiti to be assassinated. Jovenel Moise was born on June 26, 1968. He is the husband of Martine Moise and the father of 3 children. Martine Moise's life has also been attempted to be taken during the assassination, but fortunately for her, she is now in stable conditions in a Florida-based hospital.
The country of Haiti is under a state of emergency tonight after President Jovenel Moise was assassinated early this morning. He had been in office for 4 years. His wife, Martine, was wounded in the brazen attack at their home on the outskirts of the capital, Port-au-Prince. Tonight, she has been airlifted to Miami for treatment. Yamiche Alcindor begins our coverage.
Haiti's president assassinated, the island nation in a state of shock.
We live in this area close to the president. Even when we have problems with him, we can't imagine that they would kill him like this.
Hours after President Jovenel Moise was murdered in his own home, the streets of Port-au-Prince were uncharacteristically quiet. Outside the president's private residence and the scene of the crime lay bullet casings. Haiti's First Lady, Martine Moise, was wounded in the attack and remains hospitalized. In a video reportedly shot at the scene, someone says the assassins are with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Moise was a polarizing president. In the last few months, his actions sparked massive protests around the country. During his term, gang violence and kidnappings skyrocketed. UNICEF reported that armed gangs control about a third of Port-au-Prince, and since the violence spiked last September, more than 18,000 people have fled their homes. Moise was elected in 2016 but didn't take office until the following year. He said his 5-year term was supposed to end in 2022. But his critics, including human rights groups and clergy members, insisted that his term was up this past February. Earlier this year, he dissolved parliament, saying most lawmakers' terms had ended. He also forced 3 Supreme Court justices into early retirement. Moise pursued sweeping constitutional changes that would increase presidential power. He planned to vote on a referendum as well as his replacement in September.
If the assassination was to be put into a movie's perspective on finding the suspects and persons who are responsible for this assassination, the detectives and relevant authorities would have a long list of enemies and suspects for him. Because this president had a long list of enemies and persons who did not like him. He had a long history of being accused as a corrupt politician and has his hand in a lot of illegal and corruption. Moise was also hated by a lot of families in the Haitian society, including the Vorbe dynasty. The Vorbe dynasty controlled a great percentage of supplying Haiti with electric power. In one of his greatest and notable events in office is when he cut out the Vorbe dynasty of getting all the profits of being the supplier, or I should say the sole supplier of electricity to Haiti. So this was one of his first steps in making Haiti a better country. But in doing this, he also pissed off a lot of other families who are successful and run successful businesses in Haiti. And it has been alleged that other attempts has been made on his life before this one that had finally put him to rest. So with a lot of enemies, such as members of the Senate, rich families in Haiti, businessmen, businesswomen, and being a huge enemy against Venezuela and trying to stop the Bolivarian trade, it comes to no surprise that something like this could happen or would happen to the president of Haiti. There were also a lot of papers showing some form of corruption behind Jovenel Moise's name. But all we can say now is that Haiti would seem like a cursed country, but there is something deeper behind this story than any of us can come to realize. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe and share the video with your friends so they can understand and learn something from it too. This was Concept of the Mind.